Okay, so we're almost done down in the crawl space, came out to take a break, and kind of want to talk a little bit about downspout drains and how important they are and things you should do or you shouldn't do. Let's take a look. So over here on this side of the house, if you remember, we sent our sump pump discharge line out, and you can see, you can't even tell we were here. That was about 2 weeks ago, and that discharges, out at the street. Works great. They've had several rains, and of course it's working good. But we're talking about downspout drains, and you can see this is such an eyesore, and it's right across their paver walkway. This needs to go underground and out to the street. We are going to come back, and they've already agreed, let's put it on the schedule and let's trench a line from here. This side's easy, we don't have to cut the drive and go out to the street. On that side we will cut the drive and go across. Asphalt's easy to get through. You can use just a pry bar to pick through it. In fact, the trencher, it can come down and just rip right through there, but we'll make a clean cut with a saw on both sides, and then of course pull out that asphalt and put it back. But again, you can see they've got that grate, the catch basin built into the line, and all it does is overflow and come right back up underneath the house. Really not a good idea. And again, definitely the homeowners are just trying to get that water, that roof water. There's a lot of roof up there. They're just trying to get it away from the crawl space because that water is definitely moving back up underneath of there. Again, it is an eyesore, but that's just temporary, although it looks like it's been there a while. This homeowner told me that through this section right here, there is a French drain. And I did explore that. There is, a perforated pipe surrounded by gravel. It has some geofabric around it. It's working great. But what happens is when you send this downspout drain, and even if you put a pop-up right here, let it go into the French drain, that's not working at all. Those downspout drains need to go all the way out to the street in a separate line, or they can tie into the French drain once it turns to solid pipe. Does that make sense? We've got collection of gravel perforated pipe that's collecting water, and the downspout drain needs to go beyond that and tie into a solid pipe as it runs to the street. Do not send this water to a pop-up right beside a French drain. You're just begging for problems. Let's go a step further and talk a little bit more about putting a French drain this close to your foundation. What we've found over the years is, yes, the French drain does collect a lot of water. It runs all the way out and it is draining well, but because gravel promotes drainage, that's the key. Gravel promotes drainage. That water that's being collected, and you can see the yard, how it comes down on both sides. When it rains, yes, the French drain picks it up, but the majority of that water still goes down underground and is now moving back against the foundation. On this wall inside the crawl space was the wettest wall that they have, and it's all due to the placement of a French drain too close to the foundation. If this was a basement, my goodness, I've seen basement walls where they're just totally bowed and cracked, and it's because somebody put a French drain right alongside the wall. Number one, it doesn't get deep enough to solve any basement problem. It's got to be down at the footer level. And running a French drain this close to the house, you will have problems in the future. Best, if you're going to do this out here, is to do, a catch basin, because that's picking up the surface water, and that's what they're trying to collect here. Catch basin, keep it solid pipe, and send that solid pipe all the way out to the street. Connect the downspouts, this one and the one in the back. You will have so much fewer problems. French drains work great, but they are not the solution to every problem, especially if you put it close to the house. If you're going to do it, you need to be, way over here. Getting that close to the house with a French drain, you're begging for problems. So here's an example of damage from Hurricane Irma, and you can see there was siding all across this yard, this wall, and they had the lattice strips up there to hold it all together. And of course, when a hurricane comes, the winds are, in the hundreds of miles an hour, and it just rips apart many things. Wind gets behind there and just starts to rip that siding apart. So just a good example of, what happens during a hurricane. And you can also see that they've painted the wall on the outside trying to stop water. That won't solve a problem. Problem is down underneath where the water is rising upward. This is the home beside where we're working, and again, more damage from Irma. You can see that brand new fascia and soffit. That's a brand new roof up there. It took this roof right off of here, and in addition, there used to be a line of oaks, huge oaks, the size of those. Knocked all those down. Water level here was about halfway up that air conditioner, and their entire floor inside flooded. Will a French drain help that? Of course not. Would a footer pipe help that? Surprisingly, yes, because we put in a sump pump, and until the power goes out, that pump removes water, and it's very possible that it would remove enough water that it would allow the rest of the storm to fill up the system and perhaps save the foundation and floor of many homes. But granted, you can't beat Mother Nature. I mean, you can see the pool and eye. That's probably from an oak tree that fell over on it. But yeah, hurricanes do major damage. One of the neat things about Central Florida is that, not only is this like the orange capital of the world, even more than California, but this is a kumquat tree, and these little fruits are very sweet and very edible.
Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.